Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog, and we got to talk about the game last night against the Boston Celtics for the Indiana Pacers, because I'm gonna be honest, that game went a whole lot better than I thought it was gonna go, because I actually didn't even have any plans to watch it. So yesterday when I came home from my doctor's appointment, I actually was just gonna sit down and watch a movie. And I started watching the movie because Jason Tatum wasn't playing in this game. So I really wasn't going to watch it because I hate watching fucking games where the other team's best player sits out and then we win, because it feels like the only reason that we won the game is because they didn't play. Well, here I was sitting on my bed watching fucking 007 GoldenEye, and the Discord chat starts popping off about the Tyrese Haliburton injury. And if you're not in the Discord at this point, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life, but there's a link down below in the video description. We talk about the Pacers games at least once, like throughout the last night. It was throughout the entire game we were pretty much talking, but we talk about shit all the time in there. You know, potential trade ideas, you know, the current game going on. I could actually technically live stream the games in Discord and, you know, talk with you guys about the game while we all watch it. I just stream it from my fucking screen. But we haven't done that yet. That's something I'd like to do. Like, I would really like to do something on the channel that gives people, like, an incentive to, like, maybe do channel memberships or stuff like that. I don't know. That's something I would like to do down the road at some point. I'm not going to do it now. But the thing is, at some point, maybe not the Discord. I don't know. We'll see. The Discord at some point in time might be invite only, and do a members only thing where, like, I let you guys, like, I stream the game in Discord and we all talk about the stuff going on and stuff like that in a voice chat and stuff like that. Or I give you guys the lowdown on what the next video is going to be about, or you know, ask you guys what you want to see from me from content. So we haven't done that yet, but that's getting there. But anyway, Discord chat starts popping off that Tyrese Haliburton got injured. So, of course, now, because I'm a Pacers fan, I'm inclined to put the game on to see what the extent of the injury is. And now, the game is slightly more interesting now, because now we don't have our star player and Boston doesn't have theirs. So, I started watching it, and I'm going to be honest, man. I love the direction of this team. I'm just going to say that. I know I make a lot of trade videos, and people have this opinion that I don't like Bennedict Mathurin, which is not true. I don't know why people think that. People think just because you include a player in a trade, it means you don't like them. Now, when it comes to Miles Turner, yes, Miles Turner has gotten better this year, but Miles Turner's probably the only guy that I've ever put in trade videos because I actually legitimately don't like him. I don't think, I just think he's he's not an ideal fit for the team. That's the thing I don't like about him. But last night, okay, our young guns came out and balled. Bennedict Mathurin got his opportunity. Aaron Nesmith was very good. TJ McConnell was phenomenal. Like, I'm at a point now where there's certain guys on our roster that I think are just straight up untouchable. You know, Jalen Smith is one of them. Tyrese Haliburton, obviously. Bennedict Mathurin, TJ McConnell, and Aaron Nesmith. Like, those are the guys that I think you just can't trade. Like, everybody else is fine. Those guys you can't fucking trade. Because last night, Aaron Nesmith, TJ McConnell, and Bennedict Mathurin were going off. Even Jalen Smith's a guy that I'd really like to see turn into like a David West type player, if that's possible. A guy who can shoot a nice mid-range jump shot, get some rebounds, play defense. Jalen Smith's a guy that I think we're definitely going to bring back. I think he's in the final year of a player option or something like that, or he has a player option. If we can bring him back and re-sign him, I would be fine with that. Like, to be honest with you, I think Jalen Smith is becoming very good. He's a guy that I feel a lot of people wrote off last year because he had like a slump, a sophomore slump we call it, and now this year he's playing very, very well. But there are certain guys that are definitely like Nesmith, Mathurin, and Sticks are three guys that I'm like, yeah, they're definitely part of the future along with Haliburton. And TJ McConnell is also a guy that I'm like, I would be shocked if the Pacers got rid of him at this point. I feel like they're going to want to keep TJ McConnell around as long as possible just for that veteran presence and just how good he is as a backup point guard. There's a lot of fans that have mixed emotions on TJ McConnell, but it seems like popular sentiment is starting to become more positive than negative. it seems like fans are getting stagnant on Andrew Nembhard, but I'm not going to go there. I don't want to talk about Andrew Nembhard because I'm not going to throw him under the bus for having, not the same season he did his rookie year. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not going to. Sophomore slumps are a thing. So, but it's just the idea like this team is finally looking formidable. And the Tyrese Haliburton injury sucks because it comes at one of the toughest times during our season. But also people need to understand that, it's only a strain. Like a lot of people thought he was done for the season. I didn't think so. Once I saw the injury, I was like, okay, like he's going to be out for maybe a week or two. And sure enough, that's what he is. And our next 7 games, we should be able to win at least like 3 or 4 of them without Tyrese Haliburton. At least the next 2 games. I mean, the next 2 games, we play Washington. We play the Washington Wizards, and then we play the Atlanta Hawks. Then I think we play Denver. Then we go to Utah, then Sacramento, and then Portland. So the next 6 games are all winnable games. I mean, the hardest one out of all of them is the Denver Nuggets. So it's just the idea, like, he got... I hate to say he got injured at the right time, but he got injured at the right time. Because as soon as Haliburton comes back, that's when the schedule starts, that's like the hardest point in our season when Tyrese Haliburton comes back. Because January 30th, we have Boston again. And we're going to need him at that point. You know what I'm saying? We got Boston on the 30th. We have Phoenix twice. I think we have Denver. We have a couple teams. Dallas, Miami. The schedule is going to start getting harder and harder as we go on through January here and into February. So I like all this, though, because I like seeing Aaron Nesmith get more opportunity than he normally would. I like seeing Bennedict Mathurin get more opportunity than he normally would. And Bennedict Mathurin was easily the hero of the night. I mean, Haliburton goes down with an injury and the dude scores 26 points. I think he had 15 in the first quarter or some crazy shit like that. But it's nice to know that, like, we're starting to see what the players are going to become. You know what I'm saying? We're starting to see that Bennedict Mathurin is definitively going to be the number 2 guy. And I think that's what we learned last night out of everything. More than anything else is the idea, like, people have been asking questions on this team, like, who is the number 2 guy? Who's the guy who steps up when Hallie can't, right? It's Bennedict Mathurin. It's not going to be Miles Turner. It's not going to be Sticks. It might not even be Aaron Nesmith, even though he's capable of it. But I think the number 2 guy on our team in the future, like going forward, is going to be Bennedict Mathurin. Especially when he's not afraid of anything. He's not afraid of the moment. He's not afraid of any player. I mean, the fucking kid as a rookie came into the league saying, if LeBron's the greatest, he's going to have to show me, and held his own against LeBron in the first game they played. So Ben's getting better. And honestly, Jalen Smith is a guy I would really love to see to just turn into a David West type guy. Sticks is a guy that is slowly becoming better, actually not slowly, but he's rapidly becoming better. And like even on the defensive side of the floor now, like he's getting better. He's rebounding. He's blocking shots. Like he's a guy that I hope he gets some dog about him, like an attitude about him, where it's like he's the enforcer, because I think Jalen Smith is capable of that. There's so many guys on this team that I think are just capable of so much more than what they're currently doing that I understand why people don't want to make trades, But speaking of trades, it's just I feel like this team is good where it is right now, but if they're going to be better, I really don't know what trade they can make. It just right now, it was nice to see all the young guys basically growing up in front of us last night. That's basically what it was. Because honestly, once Haliburton went down, I was like, yeah, this shit's gonna get ugly. And Bennedict Mathurin held his own. Aaron Nesmith held his own. Sticks played well. Obi Toppin played well. Like, everybody on the team played well last night. And it was nice to see, like, the team is capable of winning a game without Tyrese Haliburton. Because that's the one thing that concerns me the most about this team, is the idea that's, like, it feels like if Haliburton doesn't play, we are not a very good basketball team. And last night, it started to show, like, hey, we can at least be competitive without Tyrese Haliburton. We don't need him to be competitive. That was the big issue with the team. It's like if he didn't play, they weren't even competitive. And now, fast forward a year later, and now it's like we have a solid squad. They're capable of competing. So I think things are going to continue to get better. I'm hoping the injury to Haliburton doesn't get any worse. I don't think he has a tear. They ran an MRI and said there was no tear on his leg, so that's good. But yeah, the next couple games are going to be fun to watch. It's going to, I'm hoping that Rick Carlisle during this period, now is a great time to give the ball to Bennedict Mathurin. I'm just going to say that. I'm just throwing that out there. If Tyrese Haliburton's going to be out for 2 weeks, those 2 weeks, you let Ben Mathurin do whatever the fuck he wants. You know what I'm saying? Like if this is what he's going to do against Boston, against Atlanta, against Washington, against Denver, like, let him be the guy. Let him be the guy that we all know he can be and want him to be, right? Because, like, that's how these players come into their own. When Anthony Edwards was drafted, he didn't take off until after the All-Star break. And then, like, after that, they were just like, you do it. You're good enough to do it. You do it. I hope Rick does that with Ben Mathurin in this, like, 2-week period. Because I have a feeling after the All-Star break, Ben Mathurin is gonna take off. I think we're gonna go from like a 15-point per game scorer up to potentially a 20-point per game scorer. And I just like all the signs that point to this, where if Ben gets opportunity, he's going to be very good. Same thing with Aaron Nesmith, by the way. Aaron Nesmith is a guy that we got for an extension that almost feels fucking criminal at this point. It feels like highway robbery. He's only making $33 million. But it's just the idea, like, Aaron Nesmith and Ben Mathurin with Tyrese Haliburton, if that's our future, I'm satisfied. I know everybody wanted OG Anunoby at the trade deadline, but Aaron Nesmith is like a great value OG Anunoby. Like, and I actually have a feeling that Aaron Nesmith could be better than OG Anunoby down the road, because Aaron Nesmith has more fluid movement. I think he's a better ball handler. I think he's up there as far as a defender. I think he's almost on the same level as OG as a defender. He can shoot the three very well. He can dunk. Like, we wanted an all-around player. We got one in Aaron Nesmith. It's just a matter of giving him opportunity. So if I'm Rick, I'm just going to call it what it is, man. If I'm Rick Carlisle, for this next 2 weeks that Tyrese Haliburton is out, it is the fucking Bennedict Mathurin, Aaron Nesmith show. Okay? Like, let them go out there and become a fucking duo for all I care. It's just, I liked watching this game last night because I got to see everybody perform. I got to see everybody do what they're good at, things that maybe we wouldn't normally see. And that's what I'm going to actually encourage people to do. It's like, if you're going to watch Pacers games, watch them for the next 2 weeks, because then you're going to start seeing what guys are worth keeping, what guys are going to be a part of our future, and what guys will probably be dealt at the deadline. Also, there was 2 controversial calls in this game. Apparently, there was a foul in the late in the fourth quarter on Jaylen Brown, which, by the way, as a Pacers fan, I think it was a foul. I do think Buddy Hield did hit Jaylen Brown in the head on the jump shot, but also the foul on Kristaps on Ben Mathurin by Kristaps Porzingis, I feel like that was a legitimate foul as well. But this really felt like a hallmark moment almost in Ben Mathurin's career last night, because this is the first time he ever put the team on his back and led us to a win. He got fouled. Rick finally trusts him enough to take game-winning shots, which I love for him, by the way, because I'm like, yo, if there's anybody on this fucking team who should be taking the final shot with Haliburton out, it's Bennedict Mathurin. And sure enough, they went straight to him from the out-of-bounds line. They're like, you know what, 3 seconds left, give it to Ben. Ben gets hacked, shoots the free throws, wins the game. You know what I'm saying? And for a second-year player to be that good, have that mentality, and not fall apart in that moment, I'm like, yeah, Bennedict Mathurin's going to be very good. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on it. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. I'm the Fast Break Report, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.